So I did not see this, but you had pulled it. You had showed me. Cade Cunningham's not sure if Jaden Ivey and him can work together, but he wants to make it work together because he got to know him as a person. Dude, what do you think it is? Do you think this is Cade Cunningham saying he's not sure if it's going to work because he's more of a playmaker and they saw Jaden Ivey play point guard and he's like, okay, is he more confused about the direction of the team is going? Or I don't know, man. Like I talked about it last week. That's why I want to see Cade running the show because I think Jaden Ivey's game is better off playing off of Cade than vice versa. And maybe Cade thinks the same way. But what are your thoughts on this?
I think when I first saw this quote, obviously you could take it a lot of different ways. I don't think it's a standpoint from Cade doesn't think that they can play together in the backcourt. I think just something where he looks at himself as a primary ball handler, and obviously he saw Jaden Ivey take that responsibility. But I think ultimately it can work. Where they can take turns taking the ball up the court. I don't really think it's something that you have to kind of, clickbait or anything like that. I think they're both great players. I think they both can play on the ball and off the ball. But I could understand if, Cade's kind of questioning it himself because it's like, hey, I don't know if I can play off ball, but we all know he's capable. Cade arguably can play three positions if he wanted to.
Yeah, but I really think he's just more of like, let him lead the show. Like I said last week, if it's a 60-40 split, give him the 60. Let him run the show more than Jaden Ivey. I think Jaden Ivey's game is better playing off of Cade than Cade's game playing off of Jaden Ivey. So like I said last week, like you have Jaden Ivey driving and kicking to Cade, who's not a consistent outside shooter. Or you have Cade dribbling around, a little bit slower down, defense is paying attention to him. He sucks him in, and then he kicks it out to Jaden Ivey, who has improved as a catch and three-point shooter. So I think it plays off better that way. And then plus, I said it again last week. I'm just going to reiterate it because I thought it was beautiful to say, and I like to toot my own horn. When, you kick it out to Jaden Ivey, he has the athleticism to beat you to the rim and then beat you at the rim. That's something that Cade Cunningham, we've seen him struggle at the rim too. But where we've seen him thrive is controlling the offense, controlling the pace, and setting guys up. And I think that's the way it should go. So I think it's going to work. And I don't know why Cade said this.
I do want to kind of add some more context to this quote. So Jaden Ivey actually was asked a similar question, and he basically said he wants to make it work too, because he got to know Cade as an individual and a person. He said Cade really helped him out this year in terms of his development because, in October, we didn't see that elbow jump shot. We started to see it towards the end of the season. He said Cade really, coached him up and mentored him during the season while he was on the bench. So I think it's really cool to see your backcourt getting along because, you can go back in history. Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas, like, they used to whisper at each other when they wanted the ball.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey are already bonding on and off the court, to me, I think it's awesome to see. You got to build chemistry because that's going to be your backcourt possibly for the next 5 to 10 years. Like, these guys could be an all-star level backcourt if they can figure it out together. And I think they will because they're smart individuals and they're great basketball players.
Well, and Jaden Ivey, like he was asked at the All-Star weekend what All-Star he'd want to play with, and he said Cade Cunningham. Like, I think, man, it really comes down to what the direction they want the Pistons to go to. And I just don't see Jaden Ivey being the point guard of this team. I just think it works the other way a little bit better. And I think that's where the confusion comes from them because, one, they haven't seen it enough on the floor, but also Cade hasn't seen a player like him play along Jaden Ivey. So he's like, okay, how is this going to work? Like, where do I fit in? But I do think Cade ultimately runs the show and Jaden Ivey plays off of him, and that's how it's going to work together.
Yeah, whoever's hot, like, take the ball. Like, honestly, like, maybe some nights, maybe it's Cade, other nights it's Jaden. Like, I think that's what's so unique about both of them is arguably Cade's more of a small forward type of player, but he has the ability to play point guard, and Jaden Ivey's a combo guard that can play both positions. So,
well, then they need to watch Josh Giddey and Shea figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Those are two dominant ball handlers. Look at Josh Giddey. You could easily say Cade could have a role like on the team, and then Shea or Jaden can take over the offensive role. Who knows? I don't know, but OKC has made it work. The Pistons, Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, they can make it work.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, all-star level type of backcourt if they hit their ceilings and develop. And that's something we haven't had since, Chauncey and Rick. And it's been a while. It's been like 15 years.
I cannot wait for the All-Stars to come for these two in the backcourt.